Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a new explaining video. I'm a bit late, but today I'm explaining our new track, Not Dancing, or well, new. It came out last month. This is what it sounds like.
You can't hear the music.
So as you can see, it's a bit of a different setup than normally. I had to change a lot of the stuff for the recording to sound good. I hope it works out. But as you can see, I have new speakers and I have the small speakers still here. And yeah, let's dive into the project. I received the vocal from three guys, Devin, Stuart and Tommy Lee. And normally with Mr. Bell and Wezol music, I always want the vocal to sound energetic. But this vocal was of such high quality that I really wanted to work with it. So the vocal is right here.
If you're not dancing, you can't hear the music. If you're not dancing, just go ahead and do it. Turn it up till you feel too much.
Second voice.
Till you're lost and you're all caught up. If you're not dancing, you can't hear the
So actually the only thing I did to the vocal is alter what voices are being played. So as you can see here, there are three vocal stems, all with different melodies.
If you're not dancing, if you're not dancing, if you're not dancing.
So yeah, that third one I didn't really like that, so I removed it at some places, I added it at other places, and especially in this last part, there's just so many different effects going on. There's volume automation going on this one.
Just go ahead and do it.
A lot of reverb there.
Turn it up once, tell you if you're not dancing.
So there's just a lot of different reverbs and effects going on there to, I don't know, kind of finish off the vocal and make it appropriate for this project. Because the vocal was of such high quality, I really wanted the breaks to be all about the vocal. That's why I chose to only use a kick and a break chord. And the break chord is right here. Sounds really analog, I think. And the reason that it sounds analog is because of this keyboard parameter right here. If you don't know it already, in Massive you can assign different parameters to different parameters in the oscillator section or in the filter section, wherever in the plugin. And in this case I use the keyboard tracking, so that's this one, on the noise. So that means that every single note on the keyboard gets a different noise color. So yeah, of course, these are chords, so different notes are being played, and always different notes, so every chord sounds different in terms of the color of its noise. That's what's making it sound analog. So another thing I'm doing to the break chords is apply a little bit of chorus. And chorus is one of the most well-known effects, but it can really give your sound like a detuned kind of vibe, which was really common back in the analog synthesizer days, because back then, well, for one, there was a lot of noise, but it was also sometimes the case that you had to warm up a analog synthesizer because the C note was sounding more like a B note or a C sharp note. So the chorus and the detune the chorus is giving is also giving that analog vibe a bit. So that's one part of the break. The other thing is the break kick, which is right here. I call it a multi-kick, not sure why. It's just the kick that I used in the drop, but then filtered down a bit. And you know, that was really necessary, because if we remove that kick, the break is sounding too empty, I think.
Listen, you can't hear the music if you're not there.
Another thing that I received from the vocal team was this guitar stem. Well, this is the Melodyne version. I think the original... Okay, I think I removed it. But normally I'm not really a big fan. Normally I'm not really a big fan of guitars in dance tracks, but I thought this guitar worked pretty well. Another thing I did actually is to see if there was another guitar melody that I could use for this break section right here. And as you can see in the end, I went for a Melodyne version of their guitar. So if we go to that work project, so I simply rendered out the break section that I had back then, and I just started, you know, screwing around with different melodies.
You can't hear the music
Very emotional.
if you're not dancing. Just go ahead and do it. Turn it up till you
So way too emotional, I think. So as you can hear, a lot of different ideas, but not really something usable. But I thought it was pretty cool. So oh, another thing I did in this work project is work out the strings. So in the second and first build-up, both build-ups, there's a string going on. I needed something to, you know, build up to that drop. As you can see here, this is the pattern that I used in the second build-up, I think. I think it's Contact. Yeah, it's this plugin right here, or this bank. And yeah, I rendered that out and used it in the main project. So we're now back in the main project, and as you can see here, this is the rendered out strings from the work project. And then later. So yeah, that's the strings. I think they add a lot to the track, especially in this last bit. You know, it's just you know, the difference between the second drop and the first drop is, you know, the first drop is just 16 bars. Yeah, 16 bars. And then the second drop is 8 bars longer. And these last 8 bars are used to, you know, kind of climax the track. So we just have kind of the same drop as in the first drop, but then this last 8 bars are, you know, kind of bringing it all together. The vocal, the strings, you know, really some driving energy, I think, to close the track off with. So maybe I can show you guys some different ideas I had. Oh, there's some kind of volume automation going on there. So that's one of the ideas. This one. what's that volume drop there? Oh, it's this one.
You're not dancing. You're not dancing.
So we also have this one.
You can't hear the music.
Yeah, you could use this. Okay, so I went for this one in the end. Which I think is the best one. Yeah, it's all these other ones are a bit, I don't know, the melodies are too forced or something, I don't know. This was the best one, I thought. The actual sounds. It's this one. Okay. So those two sounds make up for the entire sound in the first drop. And as you can see here, you know, we're talking about analog and stuff. These wavetables are from old synthesizers. You know, you have the Prophet and the Korg. And, you know, using the wavetables that they used back in those analog times can really help you in creating analog sounding synths. You can actually find them on the internet. Just search for classic synth wavetables and, you know, Serum, of course. And just Google that and you will find those. So the first drop is those two sounds. In the second drop, there's another sound added. And that's this third sound right here. I think it's also Serum. Don't crash, baby. This is just a variation of the first lead. Sounds really basic. So that's the second drop, just another layer of the first lead added and, you know, changed a bit. So that's one part of the drop. The other part of the drop is, of course, the bass line. And we have two sounds for the bass line. We have the sub bass right here. So it's a really simple bass synth. It's just one wavetable with some automation on the bend right here. And I think some automation on the detune. The unison is doing a lot, you know, the chorus kind of feel. And of course the velocity right here is altering, in this case, the cutoff. So you can see the velocity parameter right here is doing something for the amount of filtering going on. The different velocities of each note are controlling how much the sound is being cut off. And, you know, especially with some notes, like this note, I really wanted this note to stand out. So I upped the velocity on that one. If we just up it all the way, you know, it would sound horrendous. But what I'm saying is that you can really control your bass a lot more with these velocity parameters. So, of course, another thing that's going on in the drop is the drums. Yes. So this is the entire drum loop. Later in the second drop there's a really small ride being added. Oh, it's here. With a lot of side chaining. So this is the entire drum loop. It's a kick, a clap, a couple of close hi-hats and the ride. And if we look at these close hi-hats, you can really see how much that is influencing the complete drum loop. It's creating all the groove. And it's so simple. It's literally these 3 heads and then this loop part. And if we remove that, the entire drum loop is just broken. It sounds like nothing. So yeah, pretty obvious. Of course, the closed hi-hats make up for the groove, but I think in this particular drum loop, it's just crazy how few elements make up the entire groove. You know, this one, you can't even really hear this one because it's being sidechained. And it's this hi-hat, so this hi-hat, and these 3 hi-hats. That is insane, I think. Normally, my drum loops are a lot more complicated. But anyway, if you're a Patreon supporter, you get these individual drum elements for free. Go check out Patreon, and yeah, just go check that out. Little announcement, I actually switched over to a new FL Studio. So this is the last track that I created in FL Studio. What is it? 11? 10? Oh shit, I just crashed it. So no more crashing, hopefully, in future videos. That's it, guys. I hope you guys learned something, or at least that you guys liked the process of this track. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.